It's your new favorite DJ Monopoly.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
How y'all doing? Happy March.
Happy March.
Happy first Monday. Happy Storytellers event. Happy Unspoken Battles. Welcome to Unspoken. Welcome to normal. The new normal. Not the old normal. You knew the old normal, right? But we're in a new space. We're in a new dimension. We're in a new possibility. There are things that are available in the universe that were not available before. And what we've done when we walk into this establishment is cross into a portal where new things are possible. Why are they possible? Because we are all fearfully and what?
Wonderfully made.
Wonderfully made, right? There are possibilities in us that have not been unlocked because we didn't need them before.
All right.
But the way the world is changing, somebody say changing.
Changing.
The way the world is changing and morphing, right? The way man is striving against man, right? There are new tensions and new demands on our energy that we've never had to deal with before. And so because we know who we are and we know that we are endowed with cosmic possibility, we don't worry like normal people worry. That's the old normal. But we're in the
new normal.
New normal, right? We don't become intimidated when we see violence and oppression on national TV, right? That's the old normal, but we're the new normal. There are possibilities. There are potentialities. There are levels of experience that we have access to that we sometimes have to remind each other of. Otherwise, we can find ourselves feeling confused, feeling depressed, feeling oppressed, feeling repressed, but we press, right? We press. We're not deterred, we're not distracted by whatever is going on with other people because we know who we are and we know whose we are.
Right.
And so we are not dissuaded, we are not deterred, we're not distracted. We're focused on the opportunities, the goals, the prize, the race that is before us. And so what we do on First Mondays is we come and inspire each others by our stories, right? It doesn't mean that because you get on this microphone that you got it all figured out and you got it all together. That's not what this is about. We're not in a space of perfection, right? Right? Some of us used to, under the old paradigm, under the old model, we would wait until we had this thing figured out before we started talking about it. Do you remember that? You would wait, and if you got on a microphone or somebody asked you to speak on a Zoom call or sit on a panel, you had to be an expert in that field, right? You have to have initials either before your name or after your name. But we are excited, though, in the new normal, your lived experience makes you an expert in being you and doing the thing that no one on the face of the earth has ever done before, and that is being you. Your possibilities, your energy, your vision, your creativity, your talent. No one else has been able to represent that before the way you have. And so tonight, we're going to encourage each other. We're going to celebrate each other. We're going to uplift our community and begin to call those things that we want to see manifested, not only in our lives, but in your life. Because when you win, guess what?
I win.
I win.
That's right.
This isn't competition. This is collaboration. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about this vision, the Foundation Coffee House. This is a place that was designed and created for this type of energy that we're bringing in the room right now. Right? And if we hadn't shown up, we would just have a space of possibility, but it would be empty. It would be empty. And some of our accounts reflect a history of low expectation. Did you hear what I said? I just gave you something there. Some of our accounts represent a history of low expectation. There's always been abundance in the universe, but it has not always found our address because we have not made room for the new.
No.
We hold too steadily to what we've been, to what people expect us to be. to what our parents were, to whatever neighborhood you came from. We hold on to the old and we're crowding out new possibilities that are knocking on the door. Amazon has a full truck. We talked about Amazon last month. Amazon has a full truck of possibilities in your driveway that can't be delivered into your residence because you have not gotten rid of the old normal. So you're living under your possibility. There are people who are watching you who are depending on you to walk this thing out. And so tonight what we're doing is we're agreeing that we are better than what we've been. Right? We're better than what we've been. We're excited about where we are. In humility, we share these stories in the hope that we are some type of inspiration, some type of encouragement to you. I am about to bring up one of my very dear friends. You know how sometimes the people who you expect to show up for you, does anybody know what I'm about to say? You know how sometimes when you have this idea of something that you want to do and you just know there are people who are your friends, your family, they just gonna show up. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes they're not the ones that end up showing up on your behalf. And if you don't know who you are, you can take that as evidence that maybe you're doing something that you ain't got no business doing. Do you know what I'm talking about? Thanks. Right? We have to be really, really careful that we become clear about our instructions before we start executing, because once we actually step out into the universe, we can get some mixed signals. So I'm grateful for the friendship and the relationship that I have with Lisa, because she's one of those people. I think she actually, first time we saw each other, we were just going back and forth on Facebook. That woman is consistent. And all of a sudden, she sent me a message and she's like, would you like to maybe have dinner with my family one day? Just random. And so I showed up on a Sunday, and it was like immediately I recognized family. How is that possible? That someone who's known me only virtually for a few minutes, all of a sudden immediately sees the possibilities in my life and is celebrating me so much so from a distance that people are beginning to connect with me just on her word. Do you have friends like that? I do, and luckily they take time from their busy lives and schedules. So without further ado, would you guys please join me in welcoming my friend Lisa to the stage?
Woo! It is awesome. It is awesome. And I remember the vision. I remember the words. I remember the season. And this is the season for us to come together, for us to be ordained, to be at places where we're supposed to show up. And it's time to show up big. I am so thankful to be on this platform where we can keep it real, where we can do the new normal, and that we can become peculiar and a little bit weird and a little bit strange.
Okay.
But we're showing up because the light is in us, and that's why we're showing up. And it was very dark in Genesis, but God spoke to the darkness. And he said, light be. And light is you, and you, and you, and you light up the room, and you light up the universe. And don't you ever apologize for the light. Because we was in the light when there was darkness. But God said, firmament and the water in the sky. He spoke. So now what are you speaking? I speak life. I speak you shall live and not die. I speak that these are your best days. I speak that you're blessed in the city and you're blessed in the field. I speak truth and Alabama that you may be going through a little fire. You may be going through a little situation. You might be right now like Moses was on the backside. Jethro, come on here today. Little David was outside with the manure. And the man said, you got another son. We the sons of Abraham. We the sons of Isaac. And he's the God of Israel. So now the nation's got to come to the nation. Because he said, I'll bless foundation is bad. It's so loud. Your books are full. Let me speak this light. And the light is shining because now it's dark. But God said light, and they listen to God. And God is the creator of all things. And without him, we'll be nothing. Let's tell the truth. Because one day I was broke. I couldn't even get no gas in my car. One day I was without some food in my refrigerator. But I spoke to it and somebody gave me $500. Say, meet me at Saturday. I went on a vacation for real. Gatlinburg, a picture for. And I met a man and woman of God. I only had enough for one night. My clothes, me and my husband, we got some spaghetti at the pub, some coke right there, people. The other family brought some. But the man and woman of God said, stop. The Lord said, give you $500. Who is ready to go over exceedingly and above? He said, I'll bless you and I can't reverse it. So whoever spoke a curse, I don't care if it's your mama, your daddy, your granny, your Mima, you don't know what people spoke over you. From children in the womb, they speak over us. But God said this in Jeremiah 29:11. Before you was formed in your mama's womb, he knew you. And he's giving you an expected end. This is it right here. This is the breakthrough. This is the breakout. And it's happening at the new normal. Because you can't put new wine into old wine skin. You must renew your mind. You don't be conformed to this world. This world say poverty. This world say prejudice. This world say hate. But the light is going to cause you to love. And I just here to stop by to tell you that he is love. And let me tell you about this. There was a man named Ephraim. He was drowning in his own blood. And God said he picked him up from the hairs of his locks. I thank God for every natural queen. I got my hair too natural. And let me tell you one thing more than that. God knows every hair. God knows every fiber. God knows every organ. It's already predestinated. You are called to greatness. You are called to do exceedingly abundantly and above. And let me remind you that he is Jehovah. He is your front God, your rear God. And as we are praising God in a new normal and with a new mindset, because he said, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So now your soul ain't just in the church. Your soul just ain't religious. Your soul is filled with the mind of Christ. And I believe this is a God idea. And I believe because it was a God idea, it had to come in the earth. And see, it's the light of the world. Shape your world. Shape your world. Change your world. Be who he called you to be, to your original, intentional purpose. Don't worry about people's opinion. You're going to have haters. You're going to have dream blockers. This is what you're going to do. You just going to shine in the midst of this darkness. You just going to be wealthy, and they don't need to know it. You're going to be healthy, and they don't need to know it, because if you ain't got your state of mind or even your health, you can't even enjoy your wealth. He's a God of covenant. He'll keep it, and he'll keep us. And you don't need to know my whole testimony, but it'll blow your mind. It'll scare you. You'll say, why is she in the mic? But I'm in the mic because I dropped the mic right. I'm that light. I'm that hidden treasure. I'm that freedom. Come on here. I'm that healer. That's what I am. And so are you. You heard his voice. You obeyed his voice. You just showed up. You just showed up. And let God do what he gonna do. But I'm a battle the spirit of religion right now. I'm going to take authority over the situation up in Huntsville and Madison County. I got jurisdiction over it. I've been assigned to come to Huntsville. I've been assigned to walk with a man of God, Derek Wilson, and another man of God. So when I get tired, I can lay my hand. I can rest. You got to find people you can rest with. You got to rest. And some of you are not resting, he said. And tonight going to be your best night. You're going to sleep. You're about to have prophetic dreams, because business, multiple business come through dreams. And God said in the last days, he said his old man will dream dreams. His younger man see visions. Even on his handmaid and his maid servant, He said, I'll pour out my spirit on all flesh. But let me tell you something. You've been born again. You've been arrested by God. And you didn't go seeking God. God came seeking you. And when I was drinking, and when I was doping, and when I was fornicating, and when I was lying, and when I went bankruptcy, and everybody in the hospital said, she crazy. That's what Alan's friend Sam said. Come on over to JJ Entertainment and meet the NAACP president. And he told me this right down the street. He said, and then my friend said, you're going to be like a devil. I said, well, I ain't no judge. Wait. She said, no, you got a prophetic voice. And then the man, Benji Lewis, that was NAACP in 2009 in Atlanta, Georgia. I said, right by. I didn't feel worthy to sit by because we had Dr. Oscar Montgomery. We had Mr. Wendell Davis. We had men around here that I love. And I cherish these men of God. And I sat on the stage nervous. And my eyes was blood waiting. And Miss Alice friend Sam said, you okay? And my knees were shaking. Because when your knees ain't shaking, baby, your knees gotta be feeble before your knees can be strong. You have to go through something. It thought it was gonna take you out. It thought it was gonna kill you, but what God was doing. Somebody said, well, you know, I'm calling from the arsenal and you on Speaking Out News. I didn't know what no Speaking Out News was. I was not from Alabama, Huntsville. I'm really a Louisiana girl by the way of Houston. And by the man of God, I've been through the world. Okay. But that was an assignment too. Because God got to adjust us and align us. Is y'all ready for this new world? Y'all ready for this new normal? Y'all ready to take the entire countries through your living and through your dying, because you must die before you live. So every time you get catapulted, you fall back, but you fall back this time in the mighty breastplate one. The one who is the creator, the one that the whole earth, the whole universe. Let's Oprah Winfrey said. She said he's the God of the universe. They got mad at Oprah Winfrey. She told them the truth. See, people love religion. People love the norm. People love the stagnation. People love it because if they didn't love it, they'll come out of it. Because love has drawn us out of these places. And then the man of God, who I was nervous with, don't even know how I prayed that night, by the way of Reginald Sam's helping give in the door. And I sat down by Miss Alice Sage, who's the NAACP president, and by Mr. Dr. Jealous. I'm going to say it like that. He said, you're going to go to the state representatives. I'm going to Laura Hall. Jesus. It was through the winter program, and it was through the night program. She wrote in this Laura Hall did at the state representative office. And then I went with the commissioner by the Empress, and she wrote another grant paper by the Lord. And Huntsville, Alabama, Madison County got $11,026 to keep people's lights on. Keep the light of the world. Let me tell you something. You feel like you're at the end of a tunnel, break through, break out. And you will never be the same. You'll never be broken up again. You'll never live your life.
This is a wonderful event.
And I apologize to him. We let that light shine throughout the whole world. Let's light it up. Turn down for what? Can we hear it? The greatest DJ that is going to travel worldwide from Huntsville, Alabama to Madison County is going to have a big old tour. And they're going to call you because your name then came to the top of the paper. God say, don't be weary and well doing. He said, if I begin a good thing, am I not able to finish and complete it? I gave you the dream. I gave you the vision. I gave you the provision. Tonight, you're going international. You got to break the plateau. You got to break what they say. You can't live to impress nobody. You're straight up in that light. In the new normal, it says global. It ain't by coincidence. He has thrust each and every one of us living souls because we're above the ground. And we still got time to start over. Let's start this life over. God bless you, brother, my husband, and I salute every man in here and even that child because we want to lift our brothers up. I am that intercessor. I am that woman that stands between the breach and the altar. And if Mary birthed Jesus, us women finna birth our daddy back. Our names are the president of the United States. Our men are business owners. Our men are not broke when they get paid. They got more than enough. There's a river. There's a stream. Come on, I'm talking real stuff. I'm talking about fertility. I'm talking about business owner. Old man that Tyler Perry said in his car for his dream and quit that little job. It's time for some of y'all to quit that job. Just sit back. This young lady back here at the table said her oil was made and prayed over. My God. She said all her jewelry was creatively made by the creator, because the creator don't make no mistake. And he give all things fullness. So tonight is her fullness. Let me tell you something. She ain't gonna have enough time to make this jewelry. So now some other women gonna have to make some jewelry.
Come on.
You about to employ some women.
Come on.
Some dental plans, some nice and
Yes.
come on. Girl, who you is and what is your name?
Yes. Sanji.
Sanji. I speak this blessing and lady with the natural hair, with the brown jacket on. He say you his tonight. He say your humility. Could you stand up? Because he say he about to honor you. Your humility, your rejection, your misunderstanding, your warfare, your situation. God said just turn around, please, one time. Could you turn around? And God said, I have loosed everything on you that held you down, that came up in your space and tried to beat down your self-esteem and your self-worth. And God said, you're another multi-millionaire. And he gives that work right. The wealth of the wicked is made up for the righteous, but you got to be humble to come to a place of honor. So if you going to help them young girls, are you going to tell them girls your story? Because you're going to tell your story tonight. You've been ordained to be here to share your story, and your story is about to affect this nation, and they will come looking for you. Great women. The Bible says that your gifts will make room for you, and he'll bring you before great people. Because he said you suffered some things. He said you was afflicted. He said, but he uplifts you out of the affliction tonight. And the brokenness was supposed to be, and the rejection was supposed to be, because the light is so great. But he said you owe him an apology, because you got to apologize. You try to go around people and explain yourself and tell them how good your heart is. But God said, I'm a heart, and I'm hitting your heart tonight, girl. You healed. You've been delivered by the spoken word of God. When you leave out of this place tonight, you're going to feel like a 10-foot giant. You're going to be rich, crush on everything that tried to hold you back and entangle you. And you have come to your freedom. You have come to shake your world. You have come to do the new normal. This is the foundation, and this is 2022. And today is 3, which is perfection and completion. Today is March 7th, which means Jubilee, and God is forgiving you of some debt. It's some negotiation going on. Your name is on the papers. The attorney's got to do it. The lawsuit, it is dismissed. And I'm talking spiritual things. And God is saying, no charge. God is saying, well done, thy good and faithful servant. He said, enter into the joy. Girl, all your sadness is about to turn into joy. But God said this, and let me tell you what Bishop Ivy Hill told me years ago. He said, you know, I wanted to get a Bentley to show them. Because there's some people talked about you real bad. Family, church folk, everybody talked about you. Colleagues. Somebody ripped your heart out, but God said he, the healer of the broken heart. So walk out of here, healed, delivered, set free, and go do the assignment. You understand the assignment now? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
The great thing about our space is we never know where it's going to go, but we make space for whatever's happened. I hope that you are open to how everyone comes and take it as a sign of possibility, which is what we were just talking about. If you raise your expectations, great things going to happen. We're going to turn it back over to DJ Monopoly. Enjoy yourselves. Please get some food. There's some beautiful beverages, and Tunje's God-ordained jewelry is in the back.
Just like sweet wine, baby, your love's intoxicating. Why I have to taste it? It's much too good to waste it. So baby, let me love you. I'm just the one love. Cause I'm hungry on your love. Just because I just had to wet my love. When I kiss you, it's fair. Yeah, I had to wet my love. This is much too much. But I was only playing. Now look where love is made. So softly on my pillow. Yeah, I'll never, ever let you go. No, no, no. Oh, no. I thought I'd better take my time. But girl, like you crazy. You're such a real fine baby. And I'm hoping all your love. Yes, I'm hoping you get enough. And I'm hoping all your love. Just because I just had to wet my soul. Hey, hey, when I kiss you, what can I say? I wet my say, hey, 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 what can I say? I was waiting, I was waiting. I remember not too long ago, I went to a theater and I saw the crew in the game show. I always wanted to get into a band to sing my song and become a bad piano player. So here I am in this Hollywood city, the city of the stars, movies, and cars. Well, I guess I'll stop. Say, hey, 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 what you got to say? Say, hey, 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 what you got to say?
to come up here. I asked what you want me to say. He said whatever. So I'm not sure whatever will consist of.
Yes, sir.
I'll start off by saying my name is Gabriel Lyrics. My given name is Jabri Donaldson, but my artist name is Gabriel Lyrics. I'm a spoken word artist here in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm also a graphic designer. I do a little acting, quite a few little different things. Right now, I'm emceeing, hosting an event at Big Shakes every Thursday. Awesome. They call it Spoken Word Thursdays. We do it 7 to 9. So if you know of any poets or musicians that be interested in coming on stage for that, I'll be hosting an open mic here tonight at 7 o'clock. Man, when you was talking about the new normal, and when you was talking about pretty much accepting where you are, and you're kind of adjusting and adapting. I've been in Dallas for like 12 years. And originally from Huntsville, but I branded myself as Gabriel Lyrics in Dallas. So everybody knows me as, you know, this spoken word artist, this freestyle artist, graphic designs. And I mean, business is good there. I have people who fly me out. I'm supposed to go in May, flown out to Dallas, flown out this month, just to do videography, or just to do events. But coming home, everything is like at a standstill. It's a halt. And it's been hard for me. I've been here for like a year and a half. I'm ready to get back to Dallas, but I'm starting to accept the new normal. Yeah. I'm trying to adjust. I have to get to know people all over again. I was well known before I left. People still know me. Yeah. But it's like coming back as a stranger. So it's been a little rough. Really ready to get back to Dallas, but I know where Huntsville is going. Yeah. Like when we was talking earlier about, you know, the poetry scene. So many talented poets, musicians, singers, but it's so hard getting them to just do. Then it's hard to get people to come out and be a part of something just because. And we always want to know who's doing it, who's a part of it. My thing is, if it's there, available, just go. Accept it, experience it, you know. So, with that being said, I still don't know what I'm gonna do while I'm up here. Chauncey has said, you know, maybe some nights I get up here and host the Unspoken battles. So that's an honor. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It was good seeing him tonight. I talked to Chris earlier, and she told me about the Unspoken battle. And I said, I didn't know anything about it. So let me come and check it out, because I love the arts. I love creativity. I love open spaces. I love safe spaces. Because like you were saying, we've been trained and taught in so many traditional things and ideas that we don't have free thought anymore. Not anymore, we just don't have free thought. Many of the things that we like and love is because somebody told us to love it or like it. A lot of things we do is because people told us this is the thing that we're supposed to do. You know, you go to school, they tell you to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, but maybe you're not supposed to be there. Maybe you're supposed to be a chef. Maybe you're supposed to be a caterer, you know, and I go on and on. Maybe I share some poetry. Maybe I freestyle or something. So with freestyle, I always do this disclaimer. I don't say that my freestyle is going to be good. All I say is I'm going to make it up as I go. Is that all right? Yeah, all right. But I need 3 words from everybody. Love. I get that all the time. I'm so tired of that word. But I'm going to take it. I'll take it. Okay, she said love. You said pasta? Yeah. And what you say? Storehouse. Okay. Sometimes in life we get drowned with tradition. Parents and teachers come and bully us and become pushy. Sometimes they take us like noodles and throw us in the water and leave us a little too long, and we begin to get mushy. Sometimes they tell us we need to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and they drain us to death. But sometimes we probably just need to be something simple like a janitor or maybe just a chef. We need to have free thought and be able to think on our own. And sometimes we want to express ourselves and just let things out. But sometimes people don't always accept what we have within our own storehouse. See, whatever you have in your storehouse, it may be something that you might have to sell. It may be something that you have to give out for free, but you got to examine yourself. Sometimes it has to be, sometimes you are clothing and sometimes you might be just an accessory. But before you do whatever you do, you got to understand if it's coming from the bottom or above. You got to understand, is it hate or is it love? Because it's a thin line in between the two, but sometimes they intermingle into you. Give me some more words.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster? Did you say?
Yeah, roller coaster.
Okay. Sometimes they mingle into the two. And sometimes, as I said, way on back a few lines ago, sometimes you have to give away just for free to let people know that you are free. But sometimes you got to monetize it. And people will be waiting on the long line, just like at a roller coaster at Six Flags, waiting to say, wee. I know, like I said, I didn't guarantee it's going to be good. I just said I was going to make it up as I go.
That was dope.
Thank you.
That was dope.
So I ain't like it. Thank you. Do I have, how much more time do I have? I got some more time? Maybe I share a piece that I got this piece called Black Don't Crack. But I'm gonna need y'all help. When I say it is said that, I need you to say black don't crack. Okay. It is said that. It is said that. And there's a saying that goes, step on a crack, break your mama's back. But what happens to the sons and the daughters when the mothers and fathers spoke? School lit, one hit, instantly addicted, now you gotta have some more kids. Moms can't work because she's always blowing jobs. Welfare, a pyramid scheme, now she gotta have some more kids. Dad is a John. Quick to rob and jack, you can put that on his name. Still pull the trigger to smoke kids. It is said that black don't crack. But try explaining that to the 13-year-old little girl who's wishing that she could have her father back. It is said that. But try explaining that to the 9-year-old little boy who is hoping that he can get his mother back. Barely surviving, struggling through middle school and high school, practically raising themselves with no support or backup because every time their parents fall from getting high, they have to be there to lift them back up. Little kids having to be adults because the parents always put on the front, so they are forced to have their mothers and fathers back. Bills are getting behind, but that's not as bad as Bill getting behind this 13-year-old little girl and taking her to places she's never been, taking her to places that she should never go, even without permission. Moms have a business to build, so every time her daughter been, she gets paid every time her daughter been, per hour, per position, per mission. It is said that black don't crack, but that stuff shattered dreams like rocks hitting windshields. And when shields are shattered and there's no protection because you're hitting rocks, it's like taking your family through a minefield. Now sons and daughters become promiscuous and sell their soul, turning to the world to have their minefield. Little boy, afraid of the dark and starting to dread sunset because babysitter, mom's best friend, uncle's best fiend always comes and sit her ass right under where the sun sits, touching him on his privates, no military salute. He is not old enough to be enlisted in the Navy. 9 years old and already a whore. 9 years old and already at war, sending out seamen. Babysitter introduced him to his nephew. Now he thinks differently about how he sees men. She offered him the moon and sun, but his light went dim as soon as he was sucked into that black hole. little boy broke it into pieces, turned grown man who don't know what peace is. Now the therapist is trying to wonder, how do I make this black whole? Again, it is said that black don't crack, but I know I seen that black bends fold under pressure. Hot heads driven to crackheads. I know they said that black don't crack, but I seen that black bends fold under pressure in a wreck because it was driven by a crackhead. Dad can't hold the truth because of his liabilities, always squandering the family assets. Broken homes, broken promises from a broken heart. He is that broke kin wherever his ass set. Kids inquire about what pops is, but mom's only location she can give is, I don't know, wherever his ass is at. It is said that black don't crack, but I know blacks do crack, and there's a crack in the system, so we have to crack down on injustice so that we can get our community back. Black don't crack. Thank you.
Awesome.
Like Kiyosaki, cause it's me, a better known as the Master G. Always was, sense the danger, when it's done about the rapping region. Have a little talk with a mix of men, cause it get this claws, fast that you get to all you girls. I wanna tell them I try, just move to the right, feel the vibe. Put a fuss in the air, you'll agree, but when you come inside, my TV, as I said before, you can sense the danger, when it's done about the rapping region. With Sarah and I, take a ride, all ears and step aside. I steal his flaws, then run away. Hi, Silver, is what I'll say. talking like it's stuff that we call me. Hot popcorn. You just keep a hop and get a pop a bang the boom. You bring it back to one of me again. You can put me to the tip at your request. I rock you out of your moccasins. Keep on solid right down, switch off his mask. You keep off your shooting in the monster land. Y'all came along, saw what was happening. He's heading in the back of his foot start, the back and go slam. To the dirt with the mic is how my smoke signals work. They were jamming off a record that said it best. Now what you hear is not a test.
Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Tunji, and I'm the owner of Tunji's Creations at 3322 South Memorial Parkway, Suite 214 here in Huntsville. I do everything from make custom handmade jewelry to skincare products. I'm also a herbologist, so you come to me and you talk to me about what you may be needing health-wise, emotionally, health-wise or emotionally, or just things that you want to bring in, and I can make you something for it. Not only that, all the jewelry that I make is handmade, and they all have intention. They have intentions to it. I also make oils. I'm also a spiritual doctor. So, say for instance, you are coming into your spirituality. You don't know what your path is for God, but you know that God is speaking to you. I'm the person that you come to let you know that you are not crazy. That God is in fact speaking to you. God is in fact showing you what your purpose is. If everybody who it seems like essentially comes before me has a gift, including the people in this room. Every last person in this room have a spiritual gift, especially this room. I'm the person that most people come to help you with. I help you with those things. But not only that, you know, this wasn't like I didn't just come into being normal with my skin and normal with my gifts and normal with preaching what God does with you and through you and for you. I have a very, very hard childhood. Let's just say that I had no light. I had nothing but darkness until I was able to find my own way up out of it at 16 years old. I made my own path at 16 years old, and that's because I had my faith in God. That's because I listened to God, and I just did what He told me to. That's the only thing I can say is I did what God told me to. People think that I'm crazy. Well, probably not now that everything I say comes true, but but people call me crazy. Like I was socially awkward. I didn't know why. I was like, God, why won't anybody be my friend? Why isn't anyone accepting me? Not even my own family members. Why is my own mother out to get me? Why is my own mother jealous of me? Why can't I have a relationship with any of my sisters and brothers? It's because I was meant to stand out. I was meant to be different. This path right here is what I was meant to do, but I was always afraid to do it until I came out of that fear. God was going to keep me stuck in that place. Seriously, when God is talking to you, listen to that voice. It's for a reason. If things is happening in your life, it's for a reason. If people are leaving you, if your snakes are being shown to you, it's because that you're ascending. It's because that those people can't come with you on that next level that you're about to ascend to. It's because the only thing that they're doing is taking from you energetically. People don't just have to take from you money-wise. They take your energy, they take your love, they take your time, and those are things that you will not be able to get back. But what you can do is take back your power. You can cut off access to those people, cut off your energy to those people. As simple as that. Yeah, they'll get mad, so what? Yeah, they may call you names. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Remember that. And the Bible, like, my path started in church, Bible studies, Sunday services. My path started with my pastor. When it came to where my purpose was bigger than the church, well, let's just say I was no longer welcome in church, but it did not stop me from preaching the word of God. It just meant that I have a bigger platform in this story. That's right. It just means that I have a bigger platform to let people know that God is within them. That's why you are called gods and goddesses. It's that Godhead that is within you that you're accessing. That power of the universe that connects every last one of us, that allows you to have access to your gifts. Or some people may call them powers, whatever. God-given talents that was for you for a specific purpose. They were given to you so that you can go out and finish, help God with his warriors. I'm a warrior. First and foremost, I am a warrior of God. I create warriors of God. I help those warriors that I already know that they're warrior, and I protect everybody. Those who are connected to me, you will see, you could just be thinking about me and I'm gonna pop up. That's because your soul called out to me. That's because I am your body. When we go to sleep as warriors, we don't go to sleep. We suit up, baby.
That's right.
We got our armor on. We got our wings out. We got our swords drawn, and we are on the battlefield. And that is why you wake up with bruises. That's why you wake up with cuts. That's why you wake up tasting dirt. So before you blow your nose and it's dirty. That's because you're fighting. That's why when you wake up from 8 hours of sleep, you're still dog tired because you're a warrior. You're not fighting on this plane. You're fighting on the spiritual plane. And we fight day and night, whether or not you're awake or asleep. You're always being called upon your charges. So whether you're like it or not, people, that's what you are. Embrace it. Congratulations. You are a warrior of God. Embrace that, baby. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Bless you.
Didn't realize that I would be sharing my story tonight. This is my first time here. My name is Zania. I have had a journey, and we all have a journey that's unique, that's our own, and we can choose to allow it to roll over us, or we can choose to learn from it. And for me, there was a time when my daughter was born. When a person is pregnant, they have all of these dreams as to the things that they want to do, the pictures that they want to take, the things that they want to buy, and how the process is going to go up until the delivery. And for me, that was abbreviated. So I ran into some complications when I was at 19 weeks gestation. And at the time I was in Pittsburgh. I was in the process of completing my residency. And I was also married at the time. And I was told that my water was broken and that I was contracting, but there was nothing that they could do. And so the funny thing about that is that I'm coming from a family of medicine. And so my father, he is a obstetrician, and I know what to do to stop contractions. So I was asking about, getting that medication, and the doctor told me that he isn't in the business of heroics, and that he was going to send me home, and if I make it to 24 weeks, then we can consider doing something. So that did not sit well with my father. And when I called him, he told me what I needed to do, what I needed to prescribe, and I prescribed it for myself. And he actually came to Pittsburgh and picked me up and brought me down to Huntsville. And I was on bed rest, upside down, in Huntsville Hospital for over a month before my daughter came. She came at 24 weeks and 5 days. Normally, a child has to be at least 24 weeks before they're viable. Their lungs develop enough for them to survive. So she was 24 weeks and 5 days. And when she came, she was 1 pound, 6 ounces. The day after she was born, she had a lung bleed, and she had the most severe brain bleed. And it was very touch and go. I'd never prayed so much in my life. It was something where your heart is laid bare before God, and you're just pleading with him. Like I felt, like how Hannah felt, that desperation, asking God, pleading with God, begging God to do for you what he's done for others. And so my daughter, she had the lung bleed, she had the brain bleed. There was a hole in her heart that needed to be closed. She had multiple eye surgeries. She developed hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain, and had to get a shunt placed. And when I say I saw God move in a mighty and a miraculous way, when I say that I saw God preserve her when everyone else in the NICU around her was dying, she was in the NICU for 4 months before she was able to come home. And the miraculous thing, one of the several miraculous things was, I remember going back to residency and I got a bill from the hospital. So, I was talking to my mother and she was just telling me, okay, just sit down before you open it. Whatever it is, you're gonna work it out. And I opened the envelope and the price tag was $500,000. And when I looked down in my responsibility, it said 0. And that is all God. It was all prayed for. I was in shock from that moment. And so God has done so many things for myself and my daughter. As you can imagine, a relationship with a child that has special needs is difficult. Some people can deal with it, some people can't. But I'm thankful that I have my daughter, that she is well, that despite how bad her brain bleed was, she will be 16 in August.
Oh, wow.
And she is such an amazing person. And I remember being in the hospital room and just telling God that I just want her to know how much I love her and to be able to reciprocate that. And he gave me so much more than I could ever ask for or think. I can talk with her, I can laugh with her, and she's very insightful, She'll say to me, Mommy, you're just so good to me. I'm so thankful to have you in my life, and I learn things from her. I learn a lot of things from her. The other thing that I realize is that you have to be committed to encouraging yourself. When you go through struggles, there might not be anybody there to encourage you. And the same way that David encouraged himself in the Lord, you have to encourage yourself to the Lord. You have to make a commitment to speak words of life to yourself. You have to be positive. You have to surround yourself with positive people. You have to make time for yourself. And you have to make a commitment to share your life with others so that you're not all focused on yourself and, oh, this is happening to me and this is so terrible. When you do something for somebody else, it takes that focus off of you and it helps you to invest in someone else. And so I'm just so thankful to be here. I'm so thankful to know about this place. And I just pray that God will bless you. And regardless of what your story is, know that God has ordained you to be here and that He has greater for you. Thank you so much.
I'm not going to fall. That would be laugh. Oh man, how's everybody doing? This is like extemporaneous because I had no idea. Like my wife, she does it all the time. That's okay. We're living in some really perilous times, as we all know. And you know, we as a people have always gone through the struggle, but somehow we always have been able to make it. The process never ends. It is a necessity that we go through the process in order to reach through the journey and ultimately the destination. Some say we're worse off today, 2022, than we were, I guess, 67, 68 years ago. Brown versus Board of Education, 1954, speaker census. We knew our place at that point. Separate but unequal was ruled as unconstitutional. Today, we're still segregated. Our communities are still in disarray. And yes, Black does not crack, but we're on the verge of shattering our future in generations to come. We have a profound responsibility to do what we know we already need to do. It's in us. It's in our DNA. And the only way we're going to reach that destination is by getting involved. I hear the six figures. I hear the communities we live. I hear the disrespect that we have towards our women as well as our men. But we're better than that. All of us are better than that. And some say, oh man, I don't want to hear that. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm going to do my thing. I got mine. That's all I'm concerned with. And of course, when the gates opened in 1965 on the Civil Rights Movement, they let us out because there were constraints, restraints. And we somehow wanted to be part of society because we were precluded from being involved in it. Let's not get too involved with the new normal because the new normal today is not good. But what we could do, create a new normal in our communities. We can do that. We have it at our disposal. It's already in us. It's in our DNA. Everybody in here is in us. It's already in us. So I just say, let's come together. Let's be together. Let's be the example. Our children today are disrespecting our parents. I heard a kid the other day tell his mother to shut up, leave me alone. He was a young boy of color. Now, we all know that if we were to tell our parents back there 10 years ago, I say 10, let alone 20, we'd be visiting the dentist. Seriously. I know when I was in Japan, little Caucasian little boy, jumped out of the van and told his mother, get off him. He kicked her in the stomach. She said he's just going through a phase. There was a young lady coming out, a woman of color, African American. She said, oh, he's going through a phase. Can I be part of that phase? Just for 10 seconds. So what I'm saying in essence is all of this. We have to be involved in our communities. Our schools are failing. Our schools are failing, and we're failing our children. We expect our kids to be different than our parents, but they're really a mirror of our parents because our parents didn't know. They only can do what they have at their disposal. And if you're angry with your parents, who may be my age or younger, 55, 60, whatever case may be, don't be mad with your parents, but you can be better. Educate yourself, go to school, finish your degree, finish your high school. I know sex is on its own rampant, hormones is jumping. Hormones is jumping. No, it's no different than it was 30, 40 years ago. It's just more exposed today. But we need you more than ever today. I'm serious, we really need everybody. And it's not about the money, but it is about involvement. We have to be involved. Tutor, mentor, volunteer. We have that capability. And I just implore everyone, if you can just take that opportunity and just go into your communities and just, if there's no one taking a little young boy to a barbershop, get his hair cut, or taking him to McDonald's, sit down and talk to him, or a little girl, we need that. That is missing today. I had a 15, 16-month-year-old baby the other day. I'm not gonna call his name, but I'm just amazed how just he seeks love. Seeks love. And things are not the way I like for them to be for that little baby. But he's just one of many. We have close to 15,000 children in DHR in the state of Alabama that are in the system. And majority of them, 85% of them, are children of color. And that says a lot. And I know we have our own individual lives, but we have to come together. Jealousy, the disrespect that we have, we don't mean it, but it's part of us. And some of it is not our fault, but we have it. It's there. But we have the capabilities of removing it. We can do it. And you know what? It don't cost a lot of money. We can do it. A young lady that stood up here, she's a physician. And she says how the love and the prayers that she gave to God and God gave back to her by allowing her to have that special bundle of joy for 16 years. And she's progressing because of love. Because of love. So I say to all of you tonight, even those who go to church, we go to church and we pray. We are praying people. We pray more than any other culture. All the time. How are you doing today? God is good. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Okay? But when a situation happens, you're no longer highly favored or blessed. When there's a negative balance on your account, you always bring up the devil. Okay? I say to all of you today, leave the devil out of your spirit, because your spirit is your soul. They complement each other. And if you notice, you go to church and you always preached about what the devil was doing. Oh, the devil he tried to keep me in bed today. The devil did this and the devil did that. And in the next breath, you're talking about Jesus. Leave the devil alone. Because if you're spending just as much time as praying to Jesus, and you're still talking about the devil, you haven't decided which spirit you want to worship. It's either the light, which represents Jesus, or the darkness, which represents the devil. You choose. Raise your children teach them everything they need to know. You're not perfect. You'll never be perfect. There's no such thing. But let's keep educating ourselves, educating our communities, helping and volunteer. Go out there and do what you got to do. And get off the attitude thing. Get off this attitude thing. That goes with sisters and brothers. And brothers, stop being jealous of other brothers. I got more brothers jealous of me. For what reason? I don't know. I know more than they do. You got sisters jealous of sisters. And then sisters are jealous of brothers. We got a lot of beautiful, beautiful sisters, but they don't have no wedding bands on their finger. And the question is, why is that? There's brothers that want to marry you. They want to engage you. But they're always being put down by some of you, not all of us. We got to stop saying, I want a brother with a 12-pack, 32 white teeth. I'm serious. Good hair. You got a nice body, whatever the case may be. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, as a woman, do I have 32 pearly white teeth? Do I have 12-pack abs? And do I have the physical attraction that will allow a man to want to date me? Wow. And if you are overweight, so what? We all are. Your physical appearance should not dictate who you are. You should just enjoy eating. I got a midsection too. I'm working on it. I lost about 45 pounds, so I'm still working on it. Okay. I just say all to all of you, we got it together. We have it together already. We just got to bring it together. Okay, we got, what, about 8 billionaires now?
Yeah,
8. That's just in the United States, is that right?
Yeah.
I think we have a total of 10 or 12 throughout maybe a total of 12 in the world, whatever the case is. But we have made some serious inroads, no question. And when folks start talking about affirmative action have benefited everybody but us. Okay? Because when that law was written, Dr. Fletcher was right during the Nixon administration. Because Nixon was like, look, we got to do something. Can't keep these folks upset. Lyndon Baines Johnson, who took the presidency from John Kennedy when he was assassinated. He had to do something. So he appointed Thurgood Marshall on the court. And the question was, Mr. President, why are you appointing me? Why are you nominating me to the Supreme Court? You know how, you read your history, you know how President Johnson said, I want a Negro on the court, because he didn't say Negro. Okay. So in essence, all I'm saying in all this history or whatever we're doing, we have a profound responsibility to educate our communities, and we have to stop thinking the Democrats or Republicans are going to do it, because they're ordering from the same menu, sleeping in the same bed, and drinking from the same cup.
Amen.
Okay? So we got to come together for us. All the massacres that we have endured, our ancestors have endured, just what, less than 100 years. Read your history. The massacres where we had businesses, insurance companies, financial institutions, and educational institutions that some today are still a mark of our history and are still producing highly qualified scholars. But I got to tell you, you can't just graduate from Alabama A&M Mechanical University and say, I got mine, and you get yours. We need you to put that degree to work. And if you're a member of the Greek, whether you're an alpha, whether you're Q, whether you're a delta, whether you're a zeta, or whatever the case may be, I don't hear nothing about the sororities or the fraternities until Thanksgiving. Now, what are you doing the other 364 days out of the year? I'm an alpha. And I pledged back there in 1982, spring of 1982, New Beta chapter, American University. #1 online. Got tortured. Okay. It's changed since then. What are you doing? Because if you just have it on the back of your license plate and you want to wear the paraphernalia, that's one thing. The question is, what are you doing for your community by representing your sorority or your fraternity? If you're not part of one, that's no problem either. You still do what you got to do. Ladies, I need you to stop walking around here shaking your bottoms, wanting whatever you want. You got to stop to get better than that. Don't walk around here calling yourself a diva. Okay? Do your history and find out what a diva is. Okay? All right? But you know what you can do? You can take those moves that you have, and you can teach somebody like me that have 2 left feet. You're beautiful people. We are beautiful people. Look at you. I'm looking at you. Look at y'all. Y'all wear your eyelashes. You wear your hair. I'm serious. Y'all some pretty women, and you come in multi-shades. Look at you. Don't feel shame. But what I just said to you, don't feel shame. Because we all shake whatever. But y'all so beautiful. We so beautiful people. God has blessed us. And we are a peculiar people. Okay?
Amen.
So I'm telling all of you, that goes to you men who feel down and depressed. You don't have no reason to feel down. I tell my kids all the time, and those that I mentioned, there's no reason why we as a people have to walk around with our heads down, have to feel inferior. Because if you do your history, if you read just a glimpse of your history, and that's AfricanAmerican.com, AfricanAmericanHistory.com, you would be amazed as what we have done for not just this nation, but this world. From the folding chairs to the iron board, to the traffic light, to the watches, but even part of the cell phone that you enjoy every day. So I'm telling you, to this day, and I know it may be a little adjustment for some of you to accept, and I'm okay with that. But I want you to know there's nothing wrong with us. Nothing. We are good. Everything we touch, think about it. Everything that Black people touch, it prospers. Everything. Whether it's medicine, whether it's in the legal profession, whether it's in health, care, whatever, even in education. We have had some awesome educators throughout the last 200-300 years. So we are proud people. Be proud of who you are. And ladies, keep showing your beauty. If you're dark brown skin, show it. If you're mahogany, show it. And if you as white as vanilla, show it. Because that's us. We come in every shape and color. Don't feel inferior to yourself or to no one. Wear your hair natural. If you want to put a perm in it, if you want to wear a weave or a wig, then do it. But just be the best at whatever you do. And I mean whatever you do. And don't ever feel inferior to no one. No one. God bless you all. Thank you for this opportunity, because I had no idea what I was going to say. But by His grace, He allows me to say what I have to say. Thank you so much. Amen.
Got a brother walking in so bad about the past. I wanna dig you. But I can't even lie about it, baby. Just to deviate the course, I'm a fly about it. Catch you at the club. You get some young feeling body talking with me, but I ain't got reason to meet it. Now if you wanna roll with me, the reason chance with a lady on the freeway. Catch me if you can, but give me up the rider. Still just a simple man. All I want is money, plus the fame. I'm a simple man. This is international. Play with the passport, just like a light switch. Anything you ask for, you know him on me. The same thing in the sea, but I'm a hold this when we talk. When I'm in the beat, witnesses we creep to a love street. On my poetry, make some OTs for you don't need. I'll put you in with a pass for the long day. But I've been living live tracks, there's no way. Your body is
What's up, beautiful people? How are y'all tonight? How are y'all tonight? All right. Ask me how am I tonight? How are you? I'm magical. Yes. Okay. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. Unspoken Battles, Chauncey, you are doing your thing. I look forward to seeing this continue to blossom and grow and just continue to do its thing. I just wanted to come up to give a small snippet of my story, piggybacking off of the young gentleman in regards to forgiving your parents. I'm the only child. Any other only children in here? What, only a couple? Forgive your parents, right? Because they didn't know what they were doing. We didn't know what we were doing as parents now these days either. But I say that to say, on the realm of healing and taking up space. In order for me to heal for a lot of things that I went through, I healed through music. And so I just wanted to interact with you guys to kind of get a feel for some of the things that you may heal from. I'm also manager of the coffee house, Welcome to the House. Thank you guys for coming. Please check out our kitchen, Lavender Lux is the bomb. And so our music selection also comes from some of our preferences as well. A lot of my music that I listen to, I'm a Beehive member. I'm proud to say I am a Beyonce lover. But in that space, I also learned about other artists. And in knowing about other artists, I also find my way to make sure I share it with other people. And so I'm always open to hear what other people are listening to for their healing time as well. So I just wanted to kind of toss a couple of names out and to see if any of you were familiar with some of the artists that kind of helped through the healing journey for myself personally. And to then welcome you back with some love from the foundation, possibly if it intertwines and goes well. Playlist, what do you guys use? YouTube, Spotify? Apple Music with my Android in my hand. What else y'all got? And okay, we got the Android numbers. Comsci, 05. Those are geeks that rock the Androids because we know what devices and applications work better. So I said Beyonce, but what about, have you guys ever heard of Stormy Wellington? And I'm telling you, if y'all ain't heard no name, I suggest that you put it in your phone or something, because some of these gems that these women and these brothers drop, they're so tucked and put to the side that we don't know that they're here until somebody drops the seed or plants a seed and lets us know about them. Stormy Wellington talks about transformations, and she does it in a rap, it's a dope way. It's just really dope. Y'all already know India already. You know, okay, all right. India stay in heavy rotation around here, no matter whether it's the 90s, the 2000s, or whatever. Who else? Now, this is Just God is another one. She took me through a lot of heartbreaks, though. Her and Mary J got a thing for some heart healing. How about, has anybody ever heard of, what's my girl name? Tony Jones. No. TJ, I'm gonna have you get it together over here. So if you guys haven't heard of Tony Jones or Stormy Wellington, can you give me one that somebody in the room may not have heard of? Artist. It could be female, male, white, black, Mexican, Puerto Rican. Ari Lennox. She does pressure, right? Yeah. All right, who else? I hear you on that one, because that one is dope. Who? Ozzy. Haven't heard that one. Who's the guy that does the you guys heard the guy that does meditation tracks? Black guy, young guy? No? Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to pause for the calls just so I can get that track for y'all really quick. I don't have to play it, but I want y'all to have the name. And while I'm looking for that, I want to encourage you. Even if you feel like you're weird or somebody else is weird or crazy or however, respect their crazy, respect their space, and take a listen to some tracks. You never know what you'll hear in the midst of opening your ears and mindset to some new things. What is the guy's name? I don't know what his name is. If somebody can pull it up, I got a $10 gift card. But he does, and that's what I'm coming up to do. You know, I'm plugging everywhere. We connect. We like to connect, plug, and interact with each other. So the person I'm looking for, y'all didn't know I was sending y'all up. He does music, meditation, and he's a black man. And it's fire. Nobody. The name starts with an L. Let me get y'all together. His name is Londrell. L-O-N-D-R-E-L-L-E. My black people, please put him in your playlist. Even if you just push play on one of them and just let it ride while you're in it. Just let it marinate, let it just surround you in your safe space. Find other artists that allow you to find that safe space mentally and physically. That's all I'm encouraging you. Healing comes in multiple ways. The music is definitely one for me. Thank you guys for listening. And I still got a $10 gift card if y'all can give me somebody else to put on my playlist.
gay. Solange. I've heard Solange too. I know that one. I love her. Come on, now. Mike, I'm crazy.
Let me some pivot, man.
What's up? What's up? How y'all feeling? That's how y'all feeling?
Yes.
Blank, blah. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all can talk to me. I know the preacher told y'all don't shake nothing. Then the DJ started playing music and y'all got a little new. So we're gonna